everybody, it's your boy, the Critical Nerd, and the fallout from this past weekend's WrestleMania 41 is still reverberating. And I'm talking about the big no-show. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, the final boss himself. He was nowhere to be seen during Sunday's main event between Cody Rhodes and John Cena. He wasn't even seen the following Monday on Raw. But where was he seen? Well, he was seen on the Pat McAfee Show yesterday. And I gotta say, finish the story. I mean, that was the big thing with Cody last year, WrestleMania, finishing his story. So, why didn't you guys finish the story you started the Elimination Chamber? That's the first question. Second question is, why skip WrestleMania 41? The grandest stage of them all. So, I've got The Rock's words, what he had to say on the Pat McAfee Show. I've got some spicy X posts. I've got heated fan reactions to break it all down. So let's grab that bucket of popcorn, because this one, this fallout from this pay-per-view this past weekend, or I should say this premium live event, is just wild. So let me set the stage here. Let's roll back to the Elimination Chamber in Toronto this past March, where The Rock appears at the end of the show, drops a bombshell. He offers Cody Rhodes a deal to sell his soul to the final boss. And when Cody told him to go fuck himself, The Rock signaled John Cena to turn heel, attacking Cody in one of the most shocking moments in recent WWE history. Some even compared it to Hulk Hogan turning heel back in 1996 and joining the NWO. Cena, now aligned with The Rock and unfortunately Travis Scott, set up a massive WrestleMania main event against Cody Rhodes for the undisputed WWE Championship. I mean, there was a buzz. There was a buzz thinking that The Rock would be all over the storyline leading up to WrestleMania. But what do we get instead? Crickets. That's what we got. We got Cena making a few random appearances during the European tour. And, again, no Rock, no final boss, zip, zero, nada. So why did he bail? Well, Rock offered an explanation on the Pat McAfee Show yesterday. And here's that explanation.
Let's talk about you saying the final boss needs to step away to, kind of let the spotlight be where it should be with John and Cody, who, potentially you talk about John being the GOAT. There's a chance Cody, when it's all said and done, is also trying to vie for a spot on that Mount Rushmore rock with his dad on the backside with you raising your eyebrow. A lot of people just assumed you were going to show up. So when Travis Scott comes out, they think there's a chance of maybe, there's going to be a reunion from the Elimination Chamber. What are your thoughts on Travis Scott getting involved and you saying, I need to stay out of that? Was there ever a moment where anybody was trying to tell you differently? Like, no, final boss. Anytime you're around is a good thing, not a bad thing.
No, well, they don't have to say anything like that to me. And they know when I come to them, and them meaning Triple H and Nick and Ari as well, and I lay this out and I say, hey, here's how I really feel it should go. We can insert final boss in the end of this finish, but then where do we go? There's other commitments that I have, and I want to also be careful that we're not overstepping and leading over our skis too much here. Can get involved in the finish, and I said, but why get involved in that finish when the spotlight should just be on, in my opinion, John, 17, heel champion? What does 2025 look like if this man is saying he's going to ruin professional wrestling? That, to me, is the...
Okay, I got to stop right there. Then why insert Travis Scott into the mix? And his fake WWE hardcore title belt that he bought off of WWEshop.com. Why? Travis, if the final boss isn't going to show up to play a role in the main event, then why send out Travis Scott? Travis Scott adds nothing to the story. Let's continue.
The anchoring storyline. It's not Soul right now. Right now, it's not. But by the way, we'll go back to it.
Yeah,
We'll
you still got it. Yeah, still
We'll go back
favorite.
to Soul. Look, I can't take the text that I got and from the guys that I got, who are these top guys who are saying, one in particular who I love is my guy. I call him the Superman of the company. He's like, listen, my soul's for sale when it's time. And I said, I love it. Let's do it. So, look, I love Travis Scott involved, and I'll tell you why. Because he loves wrestling. He's a huge fan, and he respects it. He's working his ass off. I know that he has plans to train with Booker T. I don't know if it's happening already. It might be. Not quite too sure there on his schedule, but he loves the business. Now, I was just as surprised to see Travis Scott as well, and I knew the moment
Okay. Stop right there. Just because Travis Scott loves the business doesn't mean that he should be in the ring. That's my opinion. You could agree with me on that or disagree with me on that. I love the business. I've been watching wrestling for 40 years. I go way back to the Hulk Hogan beating the Iron Sheik for the WWF Heavyweight Championship at Madison Square Garden. Predating WrestleMania 1. Not to date myself. Again, just because Travis Scott loves the business doesn't mean he needs to be involved in the main event of WrestleMania. Let's continue.
I saw Travis, well, that immediately amplifies, well, here comes the final boss. And so again,
yes,
I love,
yes,
I mean,
that amplifies it.
They were waiting.
Yeah, I think I texted you. I think I texted you as it was happening. Holy shit!
You were like, "Are you coming out?" And I was like, "No, dude. I would tell you if I'm coming out. I'm not kayfabing you." But again, I loved at the end of the day, North Star John Cena, heel champion, 17, the GOAT, says he's going to ruin wrestling. Now we tune every week in every week to see how it happens, how that goes down. Some parts of it I would have.
Okay, but Cena's not going to appear every week. He's got 27 appearances left before he rides off into the sunset. So he's not appearing every week. And I get it. He felt the match should focus on the story between Cena and Cody, and Cena winning the 17th world title. But, oh, one other thing, too. In this appearance, he talks about kicking this all off at Elimination Chamber that I mentioned previously in this video. He kind of pulls back the curtain a little bit. Now, some people are going to say he's breaking kayfabe. Kayfabe's dead. He's exposing the business. I could just hear Jim Cornette now. You know what? Being a fan, knowing that this is scripted, knowing that this is, predetermined outcomes, whatever the case may be, I'm okay with what, even though I really don't like Dwayne Johnson. I like The Rock. I don't like Dwayne Johnson, but I'm okay with that because they are trying to add realism to the product because people want authenticity. People want realism. So I get what they're trying to do. Now, some of you may disagree with me on that. That's fine. Some of you may flame me in the comments down below. That's fine too. But let's get back to the topic at hand. So, over on X, people, they didn't hold back. I mean, there's a few comments here. One user, Ken Eagle PGH, replied, "The final boss is gay." Okay, That's just an example of the temperature right now online as it pertains to The Rock and no showing WrestleMania 41. Another user at Bending Flame said, this dude's ego is out of control. Not showing up at the biggest pay-per-view or premium live event of the year was nothing but a power move. He may be onto something there. He may not be wrong. I'll get to that in a bit. And at Tony, under the handle Tony, or Tech Guy Tony, he wasn't happy either, posting, then why not be there to show this is what happens when you align with the final boss? That finish was absolute trash. No, Rock, but let's send out Travis Scott. And why? Awful finish, and The Rock is trying to do damage control. And that's what this appearance on Pat McAfee is. It's damage control. He wasn't scheduled to be on this show yesterday until late Monday night. They knew they had a shitstorm brewing, and their response is to send out Dwayne. Chairman of the board, TKO. To try to mend fences, so to speak. Meanwhile, at Rio Boca Carter, straight up said, fuck the final boss. Hopefully you're telling the truth and the final boss is in the shadows. Congrats on the go-away heat. Yikes, I can feel the frustration from the fans through my screen. Yeah. I was one of those frustrated fans Sunday night. So, here's where it gets even more interesting, and I alluded to this a little bit just a few minutes ago. And this centers around the Elimination Chamber. And this is what kicked off this whole final boss, Cody, I want your soul, John Cena turning heel, blah, 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 blah. So here we go. These are his own words. This isn't me talking for him.
I got a call about a month before Elimination Chamber. I get a call from Ari Emanuel, who we know owns TKO. TKO owns WWE. He's been my longtime business partner and one of my best friends for over 20 years. He said, we need help at Elimination Chamber. Ticket sales are a little slow, but beyond that, he goes, what we are finding is with Elimination Chamber, it's become the pay-per-view that's been interesting. Fans have had fun, but it's also the conduit to WrestleMania. And how do we create a Elimination Chamber that people must tune in to see? How do we create that? And he goes, right now, we don't have that. And he said, will the final boss show up? I said, well, let me give it some thought and let me get back to you. So I gave it some thought. I got back to Ari. I got back to Triple H and Nick. We had a call. And I said, I have an idea. What's most important to the final boss? The most important thing to the final boss isn't titles. It's not money. It's not fame. Been there, done that, and grateful for that. Final boss wants your soul. And what does that mean? What that means, that doesn't mean, hey, the final boss wants you to act like this, be like this at his beck and call and treat you like crap and make you do all these things that are unbecoming or embarrassing. That's not what the final boss wants. That's not how the final boss flies. No. What that means is whatever you could think of in your head. So Cody Rhodes, whatever dreams you have, whatever ambitions you have, even if they're dark, even if they're amazing and they're full of light, even if they're scary, whatever those are, you tell the final boss he's going to make it all happen. You wave that magic wand, he'll make it all happen. So when it comes to giving me your soul, giving the final boss your soul, that is what you want, not what the final boss wants. And so what does the final boss get out of that? I get your soul for life. That's what the final boss gets out of that. No, so now we go into Elimination Chamber with this idea of, will Cody Rhodes sell his soul to the final boss? And my thought at that time, and you and I might have even I know we talked about this, was it was a litmus test to find out, in my opinion, how will fans respond if Cody sold his soul to the final boss? Let's get a temperature check on this. Let's establish it. Let's anchor it in. And you come to find out that there were a lot of fans who were saying, sell your soul.
Yeah.
This shit is going to be crazy. Whatever it is, it's compelling. It's going to be great. Let's do it. Sell your soul. So I was an advocate of that, not turning Cody heel soon. But eventually, down the line, I like the idea of that because Cody's a smart guy. He's an intelligent guy. He's a ring.
So there you have it. Yeah, right there at the end. Turning Cody heel. Well, Cody doesn't want to be a heel. So we get heel Cena. So let's listen in to what the coach has to say. Jonathan Coachman, former WWE commentator, announcer. He actually got in the ring a little bit. Former employee of ESPN. He posted a couple videos to social media. And the first one here, if I get this right, talks about the biggest story out of Mania this year is the absence of The Rock.
Hey guys, what's good? It's your boy, the coach. Emergency take time. We just got done doing the Coach and Bro Show, me and Vince Russo, who himself wrote multiple WrestleManias. And I encourage you to go watch it on our BTT YouTube page because what I'm seeing, and I normally never read the dirt sheets, I never read fan reaction because they're just that fans. I was a part of 16 WrestleManias, and I've never seen, and I don't care what they have coming down the road, I've never seen a worse decision than what we saw last night. And they involve people that I've got a great deal of respect for. John Cena, I really, really respect him. But to do what they did, to spend the entire week taking everybody's last dollar, to then say 124,000 people, all the positivity. You had people that were upset they weren't a part of it. You had 14 matches. It was 6 or 7 hours every single night. And then you end it with that. It's supposed to be the best finish, period. And you have The Rock, who I adore, I love. And he started the entire storyline at Chamber. And he doesn't show up. It tells me there's something much bigger going on here. Because Rock is a pro. And for Rock to not show up and not even tweet. His last tweet was 3 days ago. 3 days ago. To not even tweet, and he's on the board of directors. To not even tweet, and he's a part of this company and just got $30 million several months ago. It tells me there's something going on. There is creative control, that there's being a tug of war. And I'm sorry, last night the fans were the big losers as whoever is fighting over here. So I'm anxious to see how they move forward. Today, they tried to put lipstick on a pig, and they were all on the Pat McAfee Show, and they tried to overlook the obvious ending that nobody got with Cole, with Cena, and with Paul Heyman. Tonight's a big night, but I don't know if they can go back and fix what they let happen last night.
So this video was before Monday's Raw. And then he posted this yesterday after The Rock's appearance on the Pat McAfee Show.
All right, emergency take time, and I won't take long, but I was waiting for Pat McAfee today. The Rock, who was not advertised at all of a sudden, late last night, he's advertised to be on Pat McAfee. It screams several things. A, TKO called The Rock to say, you got to do damage control. We are getting absolutely shredded across the board. There's never been a finish to any night, especially the main night on WrestleMania, that's been universally panned than this one right here. Worst ending of all time. And then for The Rock, and this hurts me to say because I love him so much. For people who don't know, he was the person I was on TV first in my career in the WWE. For him to go on Pat McAfee and say, I didn't want the spotlight on me, I wanted it on John Cena. What? You had to know. He is so smart. He had to know that by not showing up, by not tweeting, by not posting, by not saying anything, now all of the focus is now on you. And the questions are why? What happened? Are you fighting with Triple H? Are you fighting with somebody else? Those are all the questions everybody is asking today. It's not, hey, congratulations to John Cena on number 17. We're not that stupid. There is something going on behind the scenes. The Rock is on the board of directors. The Rock got a $30 million and then another one big payment to come back and be a major part of what the WWE is doing. He was out there January 6th on the debut of Netflix. He was out there when John Cena turned heel because he asked for his soul. He was the one. So for 2.5 months, not a post, not a peep, not a video, when a year ago he used social media to his advantage. And we're supposed to believe that? I don't know what's going on, but something is going on. I've been around enough backstage to know when creatively you don't get along, they're not getting along. And The Rock somehow wanted to make a statement. Well, statement made loud and clear. Now they're doing cleanup. And that was not it.
So Coach may be onto something there. Coach isn't buying The Rock's explanation. Remember, he said he's been in the business. He knows how this business works. He's been backstage in creative. And he's suggesting there's a power play involved here. And that power play is for The Rock, Dwayne, to flex his influence over WWE's creative direction. Now, I gotta say that's one hot take, and I'm inclined to agree with Coach in this one. I don't know what you guys. You guys comment down below. Tell me if you guys agree with Coach in his assessment here. So, bottom line here, fans are pissed at that ending from Sunday night. Yeah, Raw Monday, I gave it a 9 out of 10. I believe it was an excellent show, barring the lack of a 5-star match. I mean, you got Becky's heel turn. You got the return of Rusev. You got Braun Breaker's heel turn, becoming the next Paul Heyman guy. But even though the Raw after WrestleMania was a hit, fans are still pissed. I mean, the hashtag No Rock was trending on X after WrestleMania 41 because people felt cheated. The Rock, the final boss, he was the mastermind behind Cena's heel turn. So his absence made the main event Sunday night feel incomplete. I mean, some fans were at least expecting The Rock to show up at ringside or interfere in the match, especially since he was the center of the storyline. I mean, yeah, The Rock wasn't mentioned really at all after Elimination Chamber in the build up to WrestleMania. I mean, this is the kind of plot hole I expect from Disney, Marvel, or Lucasfilm. And fans like tech guy Tony felt the finish of WrestleMania 41 was absolute trash. I mean, again, Travis Scott. We don't give two shits about Travis Scott. And in The Rock skipping WrestleMania, that's going to leave a sour taste for quite a while. So where do we go from here? I mean, you guys heard it. He hinted that the final boss could return sometime down the line. Maybe even tying back to Cena's storyline. I mean, Cena's now the champ. So, could The Rock resurface maybe at SummerSlam or Survivor Series? I mean, it's almost for certain he'll probably show up at WrestleMania 42. But that's after Cena's retired. Now, I will say his comments about appreciating the women's matches at Mania, like Rhea versus Io versus Bianca Belair, show he's still invested in WWE's future, great. But for now, he's decided that he's going to play Dwayne, chairman of the board, and stay out of the way. At least that's what his words. That's what I'm taking out of what he's telling Pat McAfee. I could be wrong. Wouldn't be the first time. So that's it. That's everything we got as far as The Rock skipping WrestleMania 41. Was it a selfless move to let Cena and Rhodes shine? Was it a power play as Coach suggests? Or did The Rock just decide to leave everybody hanging? All the fans. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say in the comments below. If you enjoyed this deep dive, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and don't forget to hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss any of my videos. And I know this one ran a little long, but there was a lot here to cover. So I'm going to leave links in the description below to the articles here that are the sources, the references, plus the post from X, from Pat McAfee and the coach. And until next time, this is Chris, the Critical Nerd, signing off. And thanks for watching, and I will see you later.